Let's get started. First things first, I want to talk about what we should have done before we join this live class. I have my oil back here, just some canola oil heating to about 360 degrees. I have chicken thighs, right? So at the store, I was actually only able to get bone-in skin on chicken thighs. So I'm going to talk to you guys about how I pretty much broke these down and made them beautiful. And over here, we have our flour mixture. So let's talk about what we are going to be adding to our flour mixture to season it. I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour. I have 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. I have 1 tablespoon of onion powder. Get that all in there. And I have 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So I'm going to whisk all of this together. Now I'm going to season my flour mixture. I like to season as I go, every single level, build those flavors. Okay, so we have our flour mixture whisked together, and you can see that's nicely seasoned, and you wanna make sure you get that all whisked and evenly distributed. We have buttermilk here. So when I developed this recipe last week for this live, I had a lot of extra buttermilk from making a chocolate cake for my mom's birthday. So I'm trying to use things that I have already had in my pantry. So I'm adding in 1/2 cup of hot sauce. So whatever hot sauce you guys have, add that in. So I added in the hot sauce to the buttermilk mixture. And again, we are adding all this flavor. This is our opportunity to season the chicken and put on a really nice coating on it. It wants to be dressed up. That chicken needs to be dressed up. What I did is I removed the bone, I scraped down the bone, and then I actually pounded these out to be pretty thin. And I want them to be bigger than my bun. That's key. They really need to be bigger than my bun. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna season them with salt. Always season from high up. And we're gonna season both sides. And I could do a little pepper too. Not against it.
What is a substitute for buttermilk?
Great question. So a substitute for buttermilk would actually be whole milk. You could totally dip it in whole milk. You could, even if you have skim milk, you can add a little bit of yogurt to thin it out. And if you have whole milk, you can even add some lemon to create your own buttermilk. That could work. So I'm gonna flip these over and I'm gonna season them with a little more salt. And I took these out probably 30 minutes before I wanted to fry them, just so they're not ice cold going into that fryer. Perfect. And then we're gonna dredge them. So here's my secret when I'm dredging. We go flour, buttermilk, flour. But the key is, the last piece of chicken that you dredge is always the best because it has so many crumbs and so many little crumbles of coating on it that get fried and crispy. So I wanna create that before I start dredging so that I have all of these delicious crumbles. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add in a little bit of my buttermilk mixture to my flour. I know, you probably think I'm crazy. Just go with it. I wanna create some chunks. My hands are gonna get real dirty, but that's it, that's enough. I just wanna create these little fried bits that are gonna get stuck onto my chicken thighs. Okay, so we have that. We are going to flour. Perfect. Buttermilk. And flour. Now I've messed up my hands, but that's okay. My hands are gonna be well coated. Okay. And look at that coating. That's like looking really nice. So I'm gonna drop this one into the fryer. Here we go. And we're gonna check the temperature with this. Definitely not hot enough. So we're gonna drop it in, let that oil come up. It's gonna be fine. Gonna turn it up pretty high, and that's gonna start frying. The first flour can be just like a nice little gentle coat. It doesn't have to be too much of the chunks. Perfect. And here comes our really nice coating. So I've done fried chicken before where I let it sit overnight in kind of a cornstarch mixture, get it really dry and it gets super crispy. I've also done like more of a tempura batter, which is really nice. So there's a lot of different versions you can do. I don't want to put more than 2 pieces in here at once. So we're gonna let that fry up. Now we're getting started on our sauce. I'm going to add in, I have 1 cup of mayo. You guys definitely have most of the stuff in your pantry. I have 1 cup of mayo. I'm adding in 1/4 cup of ketchup. Here's my little secret. I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard. And I always make a lot of extra special sauce, mainly because I just like a lot of it on my burger, even though we're not eating burgers today. But Shake Shack makes a killer fried chicken sandwich. And I'm adding 2 tablespoons of relish. Okay, so I'm stirring this all together. Remember, all these things are pretty salty already, so I'm not going to season it at all, which is very unlike me. But this looks perfect. Okay, so for my toppings, I have iceberg lettuce and dill pickles that I chopped up. I love a shaved iceberg lettuce, shaved even thinner than this, like shaved on a deli slicer. That's usually the best. And I have my favorite thing, Martin's potato rolls. We can start building. I'm gonna put sauce, a little bit of sauce on the bottom and the top, because that's what I love to do. I told you guys I like this sauce. I should really taste it though. I didn't taste it yet. That's not good. Wow. I'm really into it. I don't know what's giving it the kick, but it's delicious. Maybe that yellow mustard. Okay, a little sauce on top of here too. I'm gonna pull it. We're gonna put it right here. And cameraman, get in here. Get in here and see how crispy and delicious this chicken looks. And I'm going to season it with a little bit of salt since it came out. Yes, that is absolutely perfect. That looks great. Come on over here with me. I'm gonna plate it up. Yes. So this is why I put the dressing on the top ultimately, because I want it all to fall into the lettuce and the pickles and create this just amazing sandwich. Okay, we have our lettuce. You could also add tomato, red onion, whatever you guys want. This is just a foundation for you. We have our dill pickles. And the best part's coming up because I get to take a bite. And I hope you do too. You should make this at home. Okay. That is crunchy. And that's what I'm talking about. That thin chicken. This is not gonna be a heavy, heavy meal. It's just gonna be delicious. All right, let's take a bite. Oh, it's a messy bite. Wow, that is so good. It's crispy, delicious, has great texture. I'm really enjoying the pickles. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time. Par fried some potatoes. So you want them to be kind of par cooked. I cut them into shoestrings, and these are them frying in here now. You can get a good look. Check it out. I don't even have it on currently, and I'm gonna move it to another burner. We're gonna turn this guy on, keep that temperature going, but obviously not too hot, and don't overcrowd your pan, your pot, as I was doing. It's like a volcano, everybody. That was very entertaining. Okay, so we are getting these nice and crispy. They look really good, and I'm just gonna toss them in a little bit of salt. So while those are going, and I'm gonna add them to this bowl right as they come out, right over here. We're gonna let those fry up. They need a few more minutes. I want them all to pretty much look like, let me show you, like these little guys. Nice and crispy. They're kind of close though. You could probably throw in another batch in a second once we take these guys out. I'm happy with the texture of those. Those are looking really nice. So I'm gonna drain out the oil. And I want a little bit of oil on there because I want that's gonna help them really, that's gonna help the salt really adhere. So drain out that oil into, you guys can hear how crispy they are, into that bowl they're gonna go. And I don't have a deep fryer, I just have a Dutch oven. A deep fryer would be much safer. Okay, let's try this again. I'm gonna put in just a small little handful. And hopefully it doesn't pop up, and now I'm afraid. Okay, so we're gonna let those keep frying. You guys don't have to watch it, you get the idea. I'm gonna build a sandwich so you guys can see. So check out the fried chicken I made. I've been holding it. Still pretty crispy. Looks great. Did the cameraman want to see it? Looks great. So, Martin's potato rolls. So pumped about this. Really pumped about this. So, the build on the Sammys. It's pretty easy. I don't toast the buns. I like them to be soft since my chicken is nice and crispy. And I'll be sure to post the fried chicken recipe so you guys know what it is. So here's my special sauce. That's a lot. That was a lot. Okay, so I like to put it on the top and the bottom, mainly because I like when it melts into our lettuce on the top. There you go. Last one. Yes. Okay, chicken. So I'm gonna do a double layer of chicken. You guys see how nice that chicken thigh is? Don't talk to me about that. That is nice. That's some nice layering you got going on there. Okay, these fries look like they're crispy enough right now. I want to put the last batch in. They're still hot. That's the key. And we're gonna drop in the last few. That's pretty serious. Next, we're gonna add in our super shredded iceberg lettuce. And lastly, we're gonna add our dill pickles. I have dill pickles. I have two different kinds of pickles going on here. Stacked pretty high. Here are those fries. So I've already tasted this sandwich. I'm not gonna taste it, but these are some pretty beautiful. This is a really large one. Check it out. Okay, main thing is here. Let's taste the fries that almost burned down the house. Let's give the fries a taste. They're pretty good. They could be crispier. A little recap, guys. The fries were good. We just made fried chicken sandwiches in the Viking Range. Instagram. We're about to eat them. They're delicious. I made some fries to go along with them. And I think it's dinner time.